Good morning, everyone. Tracy Frith here from Sherwood Park, Alberta. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm going to today be creating with the Garden Wishes bundle. And that bundle, again, is a part of the Savings, what was it called? Savings in Bloom promotion that's on right now with Stampin' Up! And again, that includes the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and several bundles of stamps and dies that fit into that mini machine. So this bundle is one of those. So all of these little dies will fit through the mini machine. And I'm also going to be using this, and I think it was called Stripes and Splatters embossing folder. I don't know if you can see the texture on that. On top of that, I'm not sure. So this one is the Splatters ones, and this also fits in the mini machine. This isn't part of the promotion, but that'll give you an idea about the size of the folders that will, or the embossing dies that will fit. So they have to be narrower than this. All right, and then this is the stamp set here. So just some dandelions and a few greetings. So I can put those aside for the moment. All right, so I'm going to be creating this card today. I will add a greeting. I didn't do it to this one yet, but I will on the one we're going to make this morning. So it's just a bit of a fun fold card again. So it opens up and has a couple of pictures on the inside as well. And for that, I am using, my base is Night of Navy. So this piece is 5 1/4 by 8.5, and I have it scored at 4 1/4 and at 7, right, to make the fold. And then I have two pieces. I have an Old Olive and a Daffodil Delight, and I've already embossed those with the Splatters folder. And these measure 2.5 by 5 1/4. 2.5 by 5 1/4, they're both the same. That's those. And then underneath those will go the two white pieces. So they're just a little bit bigger. They are 2 and 7/8. That's not right. 2 5/8, sorry. I forgot to write this down this morning. So 2 5/8 and 5 3/8, I believe. Yeah, 2 5/8, 5 3/8 is the measurement for those. And they're going to go underneath these two pieces. So they'll just have a little bit of white showing underneath. And then my white piece for the inside is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. Okay, so it will match up with the white piece on the inside, and a little bit bigger than what I normally put on the inside. I don't need that piece. Oh, maybe I do actually. And then I have a couple of scraps of white for stamping on. Okay. I already die cut this yellow dandelion out of the Daffodil Delight. So you need a scrap for that as well if you want to do that piece. You don't need to do that piece, but I thought I would since I had it. All right, so I'm going to start with my stamping. So I need those two pieces for that. So I'm going to do, on my scrap piece of white, I'm going to do this image, that one, and I'm using Memento black ink for that. So it's the Tuxedo black. It's called Memento ink because I'm going to use the blender pens. And I thought about it afterwards. I don't want to try it right now. But you could also use your blending brush to color this instead of the blender pens. Just give it a little bit of a different effect. I might try that on another one later in the week. All right, so I'm just going to stamp this, and I know this one I'm punching out, so I don't have to center it on the cardstock. I actually want to try and conserve a little bit of cardstock that I can use later on. Oh, and that did not work very well, so let's try it again on the other side. I'm actually going to do, sometimes with larger stamps like this, I find if I lay the block on the table and put the cardstock on top of that, and then I can just rub. Just have to make sure you're not going to shift it at all. Well, let's see if that one worked. If not, I'll have to get a new piece of paper. Oh, that was better. Better image that way. Okay, and then I'm going to do this little one, kind of the dandelion fluff, on my inside of my card base, or an inside white piece, I guess. So I hope everyone's had a good week so far. We're getting some nicer, well, warmer-ish weather back again. We've had a little bit of snow and lots of wind, but the temperatures haven't been too bad. Okay, and this one I'm putting on the right-hand edge of my inside piece. Hopefully I get an even, yeah, good, that one worked out well. Okay, and I'm going to do one more. I'm actually going to try and use the top of this for my, no, you know what, I'm not. I'm going to use my other scrap piece. So this scrap piece of white is about 1 inch wide. You don't have to worry too much about the length as long as it's a little bit larger than the greeting that you want to use. And I'm going to leave some room on either side of this so that I can give it a little bit of a fancy trim. Good, so there's my greeting. So all my stamping's done. So I'm going to now bring out my blender pens. And I'm using the Daffodil and the Old Olive here. Hopefully that's the color I told you the green was, Old Olive, the splatter one. All right, so I'm going to start with my dark daffodil, and I'm just going to do the center of all my flowers with this one. And on these ones, I'm just kind of guessing on a center. And this one that's still in a bit of a bud, I'm just going to do the top part in the dark. I'll give this one a little bit of a center as well. And then I'm going to bring the light in. This one I'm going to leave white because I think it's kind of the fluff part. And then on this one, I'll do that little bit. And I found this one a little bit of a challenge to color these outside petals. But then I reminded myself that it's okay if it overlaps a little bit or leaks outside the lines. And you can color right over the dark part that you put in the center. It'll only get just a little bit darker by doing that. So is everyone ready for St. Patrick's Day tomorrow? You have your green figured out? What you're going to wear? I haven't done that yet, but I'll have to take a look at what I've got that's green now. All right, and then speaking of green, I'm going to go in with the Old Olive. And I found this one a little bit finicky to do with coloring, but I colored the little, I guess, bases of the flowers with the dark Old Olive. and then a few of the kind of veining in the leaves as well. I found this, once I got going on this, these little leaves had a lot of detail in them. It was a little bit more difficult than the images I usually color. I usually like to keep it really simple. There, I think that does it pretty good. And then I'll do the same on this one. And I'm using the narrow end this time, so I don't know if you have blends markers. Oh, hello, Carol. Happy to see you here this morning. Now I feel like I'm not talking to myself. With the blends, you can see they have 2 stripes on them. So the thick stripe is your brush tip that I used with the daffodil. And then the thin line is more just like a marker. So I used the brush tip this morning, but I thought maybe this one would give me a little bit more control over what I was trying to do. And you can see I'm not super exact with this, it's just to get a little bit of detailing in there. And I'm going to try the same thing with the thin end, the marker end of the light old olive, and I'm going to go down the stems with that. And this is where I found it started to get a little bit finicky because there's some really narrow bits here, and at the bottom they kind of all blend together. So I just pretended that I knew where the lines were and went from there. I think that one goes down there. All right, and then there's also some blades of grassy type stuff in here. We'll try and get a bit of color in there as well. Okay, and I'll do the stem on this one, and then I'll go in with the thick end and color the rest of the leaves. I'm also excited, although have not even started getting ready yet. I'm doing or going to a retreat this weekend with some of the ladies that I stamp with. And it's probably some new faces as well, so I'm excited about that. I've only ever done the retreat in October, but this year I decided I had a spare weekend away from competitions, so I thought I would spend it stamping. So I have to get going and get packed for that and decide what I'm taking and what projects I'm going to work on. But I'm quite excited to get away and do that. Just kind of have a little bit more of a relaxing weekend doing something that I love to do. Okay, kind of got that one done. And just the leaves on this. And then I think we're ready to put it all together. So yeah, if I was using the blending brushes, I would just use the ink pads. And I would just kind of give almost a halo around the leaves and around the flowers of the color, the daffodil and the old olive. So that's a possibility as well. Okay, I'm going to just grab my dies and cut this one out. So I'm going to use, there's a coordinating die for that. So I will do that quickly, and then we can put everything together. I love that these die sets have coordinating dies for the stamp, but they also have lots of bonus dies with this. So that little yellow dandelion that I already punched out is one of the bonus ones. There's no matching stamp for that. So there we go. That's my cutout piece. All right, so with this piece, if I can find my bone folder, there it is. I am going to start by folding it in half. And then the little fold here just folds back on itself on the front, so it folds towards the center of the card base. So your card is a little bit of an accordion fold, but very not even sizes. Okay, and then these two panels, I'm just going to mount them onto the white. One out of the way. So using my liquid Tombo. And I really like the Tombo for these embossed pieces because it can get into all the little nooks and crannies. And that one goes on here. There we go. Same thing, you can see there's just a little tiny white border peeking out from underneath the colored panel. And again, the colors I used here were Old Olive is the green and Daffodil Delight is the yellow. Okay, and then I can put all of these pieces on, and I don't remember what I did. The yellow one on the outside. So actually I'm going to put the green on first. So the green one's going to go on the panel in the middle here. And again, there's just going to be a really little border here of the blue. And the reason I did that one first, because this panel, instead of putting the glue on this piece like I would normally do, I'm going to put it on this little blue piece. Because it is going to hang over the edge. So just make sure you don't get your glue too close to the edges on this one. It's this edge, it doesn't really matter, but all the other ones. If it's too close, it will be showing. And then I'm going to try and match the edges of the white up with the green one that I already did, just so that they're kind of straight across the top and the bottom. Okay, so that will be like that. Okay, and then it will open up. And then my large white piece can go on the inside. And I know I talked about this last week, but this bundle, the Garden Wishes bundle, is one of 3 bundles that's available with this promotion. So it's a 20% savings on the bundle. Most of the time in the catalogs, the stamp and die bundles are, you get 10% off if you buy them together. This one is no longer bundled in the regular catalog. They've bundled it just for this promotion. So you get 20% off, and you would otherwise have to pay full price for this. You wouldn't even get it at the 10% off. So if you like this one, this is a really good deal. All right, so the punched out kind of bunch of dandelions I'm going to put on the front of the card, and I just am putting that directly onto the front. I'm not raising it up because I want to raise my greeting up a little bit. And I put it a little bit closer to the top so I could put my greeting along the bottom. So that goes there. This one goes on the inside, and if I was smart, which I never remembered to do, I would cut this out using one of our adhesive sheets on the back so that I didn't have to add glue in all these finicky little spots. But of course, I didn't remember to do that, so glue it is. And I'm going to end up with it all over my fingers. And that one can just go down like that. I've got this stem a little bit longer than on my original one, but it still works. Okay, so basically all put together. I just have to do the greeting. This I'm going to use dimensionals. And I need to find my scissors. There they are. So I'm just going to take, I'll do this side first. I'm just going to do cut this on a bit of an angle on both sides. There we go. And grab my dimensionals, and then I can pop that on, and then we are done. And I actually did remember to do my draw this week, and the one I didn't do last week that I also forgot about again. So I've got 2 draw winners this week ready to go. And if you want to be a winner, you just need to participate in the conversation with us. So either live or on the replay, if you comment on this video. And you can comment either here at the Artfully Stamped with Tracy page, or if you're a member of my Stamp with Tracy group, you can comment there. I'll put the replay up there with a YouTube link, so you can also comment there. And I will draw from anyone who comments at the end of the week, or the end before next Wednesday. Sorry, I got that a little bit off center there. And you can win, you can have your name entered to win this card for the next draw. Okay, let's try and get this a little bit more in the center of my page here. I think that's better. Okay, so you can see the dimensionals you can play. You have a little bit of playtime with the adhesive of those. So there we go. So that is my card today. So this greeting is also from the Garden Wishes set, so I just added that on. And it opens up like that. So that's the card for today. If you are interested in getting any of the items from the sale, so the mini cut and emboss machine, or any of the bundles, or any other supplies, you can order from me using the host code here. And it is, if you go to tracyfrith.stampinup.net, that is my web page, and there's a shopping link there, so you can scroll through. There should be a link to the sale, I believe, on that. So you can go right to those items and order there, or you can contact me, give me a Facebook message, and I can place the order for you as well. So my winners for the card, so 2 weeks ago, I made this dandelion card. And the winner for this one was my mom. So Mom, I'll give that to you the next time I see you, hopefully in a day or so here. And last week's card was this pretty green with the Artfully Composed suite, I believe it was called. Nope, Art Gallery. It was the Art Gallery suite. Anyways, and this, my friend Nikki won. So Nikki, I will need to get your address. I will contact you and get your address for me so I can pop that in the mail and get it to you. All right. So thank you for watching, and thank you, Carol. Yeah, I enjoyed making that one. I haven't actually used this set very much, so I'm glad that I got to try it out today a little bit more. I think I've used some of the greetings, but I haven't actually used any of the stamps or the images. So yeah. So I am off this weekend to my retreat, so hopefully I will have a few pictures to post from my packing. We'll see how that goes, and some of the projects that I make while I'm there. And Carol, I don't know if you're going, but if you are, I'll see you there. And if not, hopefully I will see you back next week. And hopefully everyone has a great day. Enjoy St. Patrick's Day tomorrow, and have a great rest of your week.